Hello, my name is Jade King, and this is my research credibility argument. The article title that I will be reviewing is Gender Cognition in Transgendered Children by Christina Olson and colleagues. Was the research well designed? Personally, I think the research design was very strong because it did use more than just self reporting. Many people question whether transgender children might be confused or just saying things to be different. The research used implicit measures like IAT, which are harder to manipulate. I also liked how they included two comparison groups: cisgender kids who match the transgendered children's gender identity and their siblings. This makes the results feel more reliable and fair. As I read this, I did realize how important it is to use multiple methods when studying a community that is often misunderstood. Was the research well executed? I do believe that the study was well executed because the research clearly explained how they selected participants and why certain children were excluded. The measures were more appropriate for young children as they were careful not to push children beyond what they could handle. I do appreciate their honesty about limitations and their missing data. This transparency is especially important when working with transgender children because they are more vulnerable and often misrepresented groups. It made me realize that respectful research practices are essential when studying real people and their lives. The primary findings. The main findings showed that transgender children identified with their expressed gender, not their natal sex. Across both implicit and explicit measures, their preferred peers and objects associated with their gender identity and their implicit responses matched those of cisgendered children who shared the same gender identity. What stood out to me is that the results were consistent across every test. This suggests that these children are not confused or pretending. Reading this did help me understand that gender identity can be deeply held and present at young early age. Are the findings valid? While I do believe that there is always room for further research and different forms of study, I believe with this article in particular, the findings are valid, especially because they were consistent across multiple measures. The use of implicit testing strengthened the validity because it reduced the chances of the children giving socially desired answers. However, the study does have its limitations. Small sample size and participants who are supported in living as their gender identity. So while the findings are strong, we should be cautious about generalization to all transgendered children. Overall, the study did change my perspective and made me more aware of how important it is to approach transgendered research with openness and respect. It did help me see that these children's identities are real and meaningful. Thank you so much for taking the time to review my research credibility argument.